what's my resting heart rate? I've been asked this a few times, and I've been asked by Jonah Lynn, hope that's how you pronounce it. Just had heart surgery about 4 months ago. I've got a St Jude's mechanical valve, the same as mine, and you were having some problems with heart rate, and was wondering what mine was before the operation and after it. Look, mine was about, I'd say something like 70 or 80 beats per minute resting before surgery. What it was directly after surgery, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, because I wasn't really monitoring it. I've only really been looking at my heart rate for the last 4.5 years since I took up cycling again. And now my resting heart rate is anything from 42 to 48 beats per minute. So if I've been sat down watching a movie or something and very relaxed, it'll be down around about the 40, 42. So it is pretty low. You know, that's on the lower side. The one downside to it, I find, when I get up, if I get up quick, I get dizzy. But it's only for a few seconds, and it doesn't happen every time. I guess it depends on how fast I get up, but it does happen. I get a little bit dizzy now and again. I've asked my doctor about it and my cardiologist, and they reckon perfectly fine, normal, nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with a heart rate that low. My doctor reckons the lower your heart rate is at rest, the better off you are, because it's obviously giving your heart muscle a break. So yeah, before surgery I don't know, 70 to 80 beats per minute. After surgery now, 42 to 48 beats per minute, and I'll feel fine with it, no dramas at all. I did a session today, a training session, so I did 2.5 hours. I was going to go out on my bike, but it was raining, and you know I don't ride the bike in the rain. So I jumped on Zwift and I hooked up with a crew. I think there was about 120 of us, and we did 100 Ks. It was actually a 120k ride, but I only wanted to do 100 Ks of it, and it was riding at tempo. So tempo for me is about 3.5 watts per kilo, about 260 watts, and my average heart rate then was about 144, I think. So I did that for 2.5 hours, and again, when I got off the bike, had a shower, something to eat, went and sat down, had a rest, and it was back down to around about 55 beats per minute at rest. So I guess after that bit of exercise, it probably takes a bit longer to come back down to full rest. That was only maybe an hour after I'd finished. So, you know, not too bad. So, and I feel good with that. Doesn't worry me. What else helps is the odd glass of red wine. Good for the ticker. And water, of course. But look, I'm no expert. I'm not a doctor, don't forget. If you've got any dramas whatsoever with heart rate, any issues, you're wondering whether you can take up cycling. I had someone else, I can't remember who it was now, ask me something about cycling, and it was something to do with the heart rate, and they just had aortic replacement as well, and was getting funny rhythms with the heart after exercise, and was wondering if I had any of that, and I don't get any of that. Look, I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky. I was very lucky that my surgery turned out well. I hadn't damaged any of the heart muscle, and I recovered well after surgery. But my advice is, if you're going to take up cycling, especially if you're going to do anything strenuous like what I do with this Zwifting and all the rest of it, you know, because it is pretty hard. Because don't forget, when you're on the indoor trainer, especially like this one I did today, it's 2.5 hours non-stop pedaling at around about, I was ticking over at around about 95 to 100 RPM. And as I say, like 144 beats per minute was average, and 2.5 hours of that is pretty hard. So before you do anything like that, I would suggest you double check with your doctor and also your surgeon or your cardiologist before you undertake any sort of strenuous exercise like that. Just because I do it doesn't mean everyone can get away with it that's had heart surgery. And anyone that hasn't had heart surgery and is thinking about doing it, I still would recommend you get a full medical and a good heart checkup before you commence, because there's plenty of people, fit and unfit, that drop dead from a heart attack from exerting themselves. So go and get your bloody heart checked. You've only got one, doesn't take long, and if there's something wrong, at least it can be fixed and you can go on your merry way. Okay, so that is my advice, but my resting heart rate, spot on, gets a thumbs up.